Hi everyone, it's Jean from Jean's Gems. Just stopping by this afternoon to share with you a project that I had uploaded a short on yesterday. My day was a little busy yesterday, so I wasn't able to get a full video in, but I'm glad that I took the extra time because I was able to come up with another version of this particular project. So what these are called are Mexican mirrors, and they are paper craft in Mexico. The way that these in particular were designed, I found a page out of an adult coloring book that had all kinds of circular shapes, mostly circular, that I could cut out and then put on watercolor paper, which is a little bit heavier cardstock. And I was able to make these Mexican mirrors. Now, the mirror part, if you were doing this in Mexico, would probably be a thicker piece of like tin or something that's easy to draw designs on with like a stylus. And I don't have any of that, but I thought, why not use aluminum foil? So I'm not sure if you can see super well, but I did make a few designs in the aluminum foil. This one has a star in it. So this was the easy way of doing this project, of finding some circular shapes, appliquing them or gluing them onto some larger circular shapes that are harder cardstock so that we could come up with some really pretty mirrors. So that was the original idea that I had. Then I sat down today and I finally found my circle template. Yay! So what I did was I actually made some of my own. Now these are small, which that's okay because I think what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to connect these together then and have a string of them. And for our journal, the big ones are nice maybe to use as tuck spots or journaling spots, but I wanted this to be kind of like a design on one of the pages or hanging in one of the pages. So I went through the circle stencil and I just used the different sizes. Now, one thing I had a little bit of trouble with was making sure that everything was lined up properly. So you'll see on this one, for example, it's a little bit wider on this end than it is this end, but as I started making them, I got a little bit better. But that is the one that I made today, and I just drew the designs myself, and of course I applied some of the glitter glue. I think that just makes an extra neat effect to the project. So here's one I started, and then I wanted to show you hearts are also very popular in Mexican culture. They usually call them milagros or corazones. And on these, I thought I would make the circle for the aluminum foil, and then we could do some decorating outside here. So the aluminum foil, I just cut a sheet, and if you weren't aware, aluminum foil actually sharpens your punches. So this is a good project to use for sharpening your punches. But I just go in like this and punch a few of the squares, listen to me, circles. I wish I had some other shapes, but I don't right now. I think that one went over a little bit. And then I just pop them out. And then you can go right onto your board you're using and just kind of hold them down and smooth them out, and then they look really shiny and flat again. If you get a wrinkle in them, sometimes that's hard to come out, so I may have to. But, you know, they're so small, you're not wasting that much aluminum foil, so it would be okay to make another one. But if you saw how wrinkled that one was, and now I've smoothed that out again, that's how easy it is to smooth the aluminum foil, the cut pieces. So I think that one, actually, is there no? That must be the one that got cut wrong. So there we have some. I have 4 of the small ones, and I have 4 of the larger ones. And again, just the same thing. After you cut them, just take them with your finger like this and smooth them out so they're nice and shiny and no wrinkles. If you can, apply them certainly with your fingers. If not, you can use a pair of tweezers. So what I want to do, whoa, they blow away. Be careful of that. So what I want to do first is I want to, these I already put the middles on so they can be decorated and ready to go. I'm going to set those aside because what I want to work on are some of the ones here that we have, and show you how I draw the designs. I'm going to put a piece of white paper down here. I found this really cute cap material, and I thought that looks colorful and Mexican, so I'm definitely putting some of this in my journal. I have to get that sewn. I haven't had a chance to sew it yet. I was talking to Miss Caroline today, and there's so many things we want to do, and before we know it, time creeps right up on us. So I'm going to move my little cat template, and I'm going to take this water paper color. As you can see, it's thick, and I love this textured side, but I'm just going to go ahead and fold this in half just so that it'll fit on our board better. And the reason I'm doing this is because as you decorate these, sometimes you go over the edge a little bit. So I'll do it on a back side of the paper so that if I need to use the front side for a design, I can. Now I mainly use, when I'm doing this type of project, the Uniball marker, but I did get some of these. This one has paint on it. These I think I picked up from one of the online stores, and they're really good too, but anything that has a nice ball point. I don't care for I think they're called Prisma, because the nibs are so little, and after a while they start to bend. So these work really well for me. And the designs that you make on here can be any kind of design. If you've ever looked at Zentangle designs or other designs that you color in the lines, that's basically the style that we're going for. So on this one, I'm just going to go around this side, and I'm going to draw some circles. And this doesn't take any specific skill. And the reason why I decided to do these paper ones, because not everyone is going to have a coloring book to get their circle designs from. So we can just design, I'll show you how both of them look when we color them, but this is just putting some circles around the edges. And then inside the circle, if you want to, you could even put just a darker black one, like this, and that stands out really nice, like this. This has some extra, I don't know if I can get another circle in there and it not look too. The interesting thing about the Latin American crafts, a lot of them that you see, they're all done by hand. The painting, the designing, especially on pots that you can get in Mexico, different parts of Mexico. Oaxaca makes beautiful black clay pots and red clay pots. So the designs that they make on them are all original and handmade. Now, it's possible that this day and age they could create a stamp or something to keep the designs uniform, but I would imagine the majority of it is done by hand, or if they're using some type of stamp to do it, that it's a stamp that they've created. So Mexico is not only a very colorful culture, but they're very rich in their artistic design, as are other places like Colombia and Argentina, and even Puerto Rico has beautiful colorings to their designs. Paper flowers are very popular to find in the markets, and just a lot of interesting things that we may not necessarily find that we would decorate our homes with, but they decorate with what they have. So the artisans that make the pots are just so amazing to me. So I'm going to just use basic shapes, triangles, circles, and make my mirror like this. These are tiny triangles, so I'll have to be careful when I color them. And then I'm going to apply a tiny bit of glue. You don't need very much. If you put too much in here, what will happen is it'll squish out the side of the aluminum foil. And honestly, oops, sorry, I was looking for a pin. And honestly, you don't need that much glue to adhere this thin little piece of aluminum foil. Now, I know some aluminum foils are thinner than others, so if you go to the Dollar Tree, I think they do have Reynolds, which is a thicker one. But if you get some of the off-brands, some of them are very, very light. Now, in the middle of this one, I think the best thing to put would be a larger circle. So let's see where it is. over here. So I'm going to take this aluminum circle and put it right in the middle. It's almost too big because it's covering up part of our triangle design, but that's okay. So we'll put this one right in the middle. If I had a larger circle, template, I would make larger ones, but I just like these because I think for what I want to do to hang them, the smaller ones are better. So you can see we just add this to the middle, and then we can go in and color this any color we like. I'm going to, I always pick up the pink first, but let's see what, let's try the red. Now the red is a graffiti marker. These are acrylic paint pens, and I've had them for a little while, but I find that they work really, really good, especially, you know, when you're just picking one up. Just need to give it a shake or two, and it's ready to go. So this is the red, and I liked using the acrylic paint over the markers because I think it makes it look more realistic as to what we're trying to design here. And just go through all the way around and paint your little circles. And then we will have a nice start to our design. And we will paint this one over here. And this one, it got a little wonky. So that's what I'm saying about the drawing. Don't think that you have to have perfect drawing skills to make this. Just whatever comes to your mind as a design. You can look up the Zentangle designs and see if they are acceptable. I will, as soon as I'm finished this with you, I will go and make a coloring page of designs so you can just print it out. I'll put it on my coffee shop free for you, because as I've said throughout this video, if you care to participate in any of the projects that we're doing, that I would do a giveaway for the people that participate. And you have to upload your design onto my website, which is Lilac Lane Livery Arts, and that's on Facebook, so I'll give you guys a link so you can join, even if you don't want to do any designs right now, but you just want to see what goes on my Facebook. I encourage you to do that because there's a lot of fun things. I haven't done a whole lot yet, but I've done some. We post videos there. You can post your coffee shop or your Etsy shop. If you have new digitals coming out, it's just another platform for you to be able to share your creativity. So now I'm going to go around and color, and I think I'm going to color every other one of these so that I can use another color in between, if I don't forget to skip a space. So I hope you all can see this. I know this is a little bit of a small project, but once I get it done, I'll hold it up for you so you can see it a little bit better. And like I said, on the other one, I started, what is it? Okay, this is the one I finished. And then I had one that I had started that had pink on it. I'll find it then. Okay, so these are, that is really pretty. Reminds me of puppies. Okay. And I think what's really important too when you are painting this is that you try to keep the integrity of the black lines. If they seem like they're kind of light colored, that's okay. You can go back over, especially with this pen. It pretty much writes on everything, but let your mirror dry first before you do that, because if you don't, you'll just get, you won't be able to see the black. So you can retrace the design is what I'm saying, so that it shows on the outside really good. Okay, so here we go. And this one is going to be very colorful with the purples. And then for the last part, I'm going to use some pink. And I'm just going to go around the edge of the mirror here between those triangles and color that. Now, I hope I'm not insulting your intelligence by showing you a coloring video, but this is not supposed to be a video based on your coloring skill set, just on your designing and to come up with another project that we can add to our journal. So let me see. It looks pretty good. I'm just going to go over the very edge of it with the pink, since I have that marker out, and just make sure where there's any white spaces, they're covered up. And I think that looks really nice. Now, what I did for the middle in trying to create like a little design there is I took the end of a paintbrush because it's not pointy, and you can draw like a circle here and some squiggly lines like this, or like this and like this up here, and then you can do dots around the circle, and that just gives you some definition to your mirror design. That would be how they would be made. So there you go. I think I don't know what purple one I use, but I think I need to cover up a couple spots here. Sometimes you don't see it until after it dries, where it might need a color adjustment. So there you go. There's our mirror. And you can back these then with other papers if you want. I'm thinking that they would look really cute with little ruffles around the back that you could find some colorful ribbon, or I'm sorry, colorful, well, I guess you could use ribbon or fabric and put it around the back. I have some yellow that I'll probably try that with, and I think I have some orange. So here are these two. This one I have to finish, but I wanted to see what we could do with a heart. So for heart, I think I'm going to make another line that goes around the outside of the heart like this. And then I'm going to make like a teardrop shape and put two of them there, and a teardrop shape here and another one, and then we will connect them down here, and I'm just going to put loops like this. Now, one of my very first videos for my channel was about how to make doodle flowers. So doodling is something that I enjoy, and that kind of comes into play with this idea of designing your own patterns for your mirrors. And I think it's just really fun to come up with creative ways to design that. And then around the edge, let's see, what can we do? We have teardrops. Why don't we just go like this? We'll make these a little bit larger, and then the outside of the humps or bumps, we will just color that in solid. So here we go. We have this fancy heart design. It gets a little narrow right in here. There we go. And then we will put our mirror in the middle. So let me see. I thought I had another hole punch, but I think it's smaller. Yeah, it's teeny tiny. So let me see if we put this one on. Okay, we'll probably just use a tiny one for this one, because I don't want to disturb the design. Okay, here we go with pink, because it's a heart, right? So I'm going to do each of these teardrops in different colors. So the outside one will be pink. But just for example, you can see, even with my drawing, even though I knew what I was going to draw on each side, not all of the teardrop part is even. So that's okay. It doesn't have to be even, because what we're designing is something that's handmade, and I was trying to think what the proper word would be for the metal, and I think that's called tooling, where you can or some people call it punched art, but I think it's tooling when you just try to make a design. There we go, some green. And let me find some orange. And we will go, it looks like 2 eyes and a mouth. Oh, stars. I didn't even think of that. So if any of you are watching and you are from a Latin American country, let me know what country and we will definitely do, excuse me, a craft from your home country. I'm pretty sure that Terry mentioned to me that she was formerly married to someone from Panama. So I do have a Panama craft coming up. I don't want you, my heart will always be with Mexico, but I don't want to do all Mexican crafts because I want to give you guys a good taste of all the Latin American culture, not just Mexico. Okay, just a little silence here while I'm coloring. And I've got all those colored. And then I need to find a color. Let's do some blue. This is a nice baby blue that looks pretty. It's not super light, but comes out a nice color. Make our clown's teeth blue. He's been eating raspberry cotton candy. That's what it reminds me of. Wait a second, this one's not coming down to the nib quite enough. Alrighty, pencil. Now these that I'm using here are Tule Art. I don't know why this one's given me a hard time. I usually don't have a hard time with any of my paint pens, but I have had them for a little bit, and it's been really hot in this room, so it's possible because they've been sitting in the heat that they don't want to work. This is the only one I've had any issue with. But the Tule Art, what's nice is they show you the amount of ink in the barrel. I like them much better than, actually the one I was using was a graffiti. So let me try the Tule Art light blue and see if it works a little bit better. Yeah, it does, and it's the same color pretty much. This one's like a gray blue. So if you're looking to get yourself a set of acrylic markers, the best ones to get are the Tule Art, in my opinion. I've tried using Posca before, and actually Posca doesn't, the nib doesn't, what do I want to say? The ink doesn't want to come down on the nib for me good on a Posca. So I got some a couple years ago and I just didn't care for them, but they could have been old or something. So you know, don't let that deter you. If you like Posca, for sure use them, or if you come across some and want to try them. I just like the Tule Art and the Graffiti best. And I think the Tule Art out of all of them. Okay, so what other color do we need to put in here? I have a dark blue. Let's go with the dark blue. Now this is where sometimes your paper will run over, and that's why I was saying to lay another kind, white paper on the top of it, so that if you go over the edges a tiny bit, it'll be okay. And of course, on these pens, the kind of paper you use makes a difference. One of the things that I've noticed is if you use paper that is super rough, sometimes the nibs of the pens will grab onto whatever you have on there, and then they'll skip, and you'll get a big blob of ink or of paint. So just keep that in mind when you are designing something, that the surface is either uneven or maybe the surface has already been painted and you sometimes get little bubbles, and then if you're painting over top to make a design, they will grab onto that sometimes and make a splatter. But as Bob Ross says, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. I don't know about Bob Ross. He was kind of funny, but I think I remember when I was younger watching him on TV paint trees and just thinking how easy it was to paint a tree with Bob Ross's method. And I'm sure a lot of people learned how to paint trees from him. Happy little trees. Everything he did was happy, right? Okay, so I need a light color, a lighter color. Let me put some red in this right here. Now this one is a graffiti marker, so it's working fine. I'm not sure, I probably just had to work the nib on that other one a little bit more. And this is where we're giving our clown some crazy looking red eyeball. What are they called? Eyebrows. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go back in with this orange and just touch this up a little bit. And then I need a light color for the middle. Should I do yellow? I probably will just do yellow because it'll be the easiest to go around some of these sides with. And hopefully it won't look too much like a clown when we're all done. because I promise I didn't plan on it looking like that. Now I'm laughing at it myself. Okay, there we go. We have most of that painted then. Once you're in a little bit better lighting, you can see if maybe you skipped any spaces. I tried to do this early enough so that I could see pretty well. But I'm going to let this one dry a little bit because I need to go over some of the spaces again with the black. And then, of course, I'm going to put some glitter on it as well so that in this big area here. And you'll see that once I do re-outline these, it makes a big difference in your design. So what you think you may have colored a little bit out of the line or not quite the shape, when you define those lines with the black pen again, it's gonna make a big difference. So here we go. So I don't know if I told you all, but my brother and my niece are coming the end of this month. So I'm really excited about that, to visit with my brother. He's my oldest, the next oldest. And then I have a younger one too. The very oldest passed away about, I guess it's been 18 years now, because I was pregnant with my son when I found out my brother had passed. So Gabriel will be 18 next month. And we'll have another adult in the household. He's already adult size. Okay, there we go. That's about as good as it's going to get, guys, for this one. Except for I am going to take some gold glitter glue and go around the edges here. Edge of this aluminum foil. I think I got a little dry spot in it. Here we go. I couldn't find my needle. Now I can't see to put the needle in. Okay, now I think we're good. Yeah. Now this part around the mirror is a little bit thicker, but I just think that it'll look better thicker. And I actually might put some over here on this part to kind of brighten that up a little bit. But there's our heart mirror. And that came out pretty good. I think that it would look, I think would look better with a little bit larger mirror in the middle, but that's okay. This works out fine. And we have that interesting look of the Mexican design and colors. So we have a few here that I've made, and then what I will do is, I'm not sure, let me see if I have someplace I put some little pieces of string. Oh dear, I keep knocking stuff down. I can't seem to keep my desk orderly, in order. So this is what I'm going to do once these are finished. I'm going to put them on a string like this. And let me just go ahead and, I think I'm going to tape it on because, well, it doesn't matter that that one's not painted yet. This is a nice long string, so I think I'm just going to tape them on for the moment because of the glue. I'm just going to take a little piece. This is just masking tape. And I'll put each one of these down with the masking tape. This one about right there. And then finish. And then you hold it up like this, and you get this really pretty hanging design. So I'm going to finish coloring this one, but I'll get our journal out and we can see if we just put this on this top page. Oops, they want to flip over. And put them down just like this in a page, like as a belly band or something. Wouldn't that look so pretty? I just love that. So you could, this string's almost long enough that I could go in on this first page and tie it if I wanted to. And then here I have these, my little Mexican mirrors on there. Really cute. So we have some different ideas where you can cut the pieces out of a coloring book. You can design your own circles, hearts, whatever shape that you want to design. And go with that. Or if you don't trust your drawing skills, you can always find some of these in coloring books and put them on a harder cardstock, and then just put your aluminum foil in the middle and then color as you go. So I hope this was fun for you. I'm going to upload a couple things that I promised to upload that I haven't already. And I will see what we need for tomorrow's project. And if I think I need to do a printout for it, I will let you know, or I will print it out. So here is our project. I think this is our third one that we've done so far. These are the ones that I did the little short on, so you all can see how these little mirrors will go really pretty in your journal. And let me take Frida off here. And we could even use this one. This one's not dry yet, but we could even use this one if we wanted to as a closure, or we could do a couple different designs of those. Now, I have to admit that this one is not my favorite, but this is the most, I would say the most reminiscent of the Mexican mirrors, this one. So I hope you all enjoyed this little project. If you please want to join the Facebook group, just hop on over there. It's Lilac Lane Livery Arts, and post what crafts you've been doing, even if they're not this one. But remember, if you do this one, you'll get a little envelope from me. So I have some envelopes that are due to go out. I have some of them ready, just have to address them and get them out in the mail. I really appreciate everyone, all my new followers. I've been making notes of my new followers because that last 16, remember, we're doing 2 special drawings for that. So thank you so much for all your support and helping me out, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.